It's time for the Sunday debrief on Thursday. So let's just call it the debrief as we analyse the 9 games in game week 26 so far. Loads of talking points in FPL. I couldn't help but make this video. It wasn't the plan. And I was going through all the pass maps, all the average position maps, all the data. And I thought, I may as well just screen grab it and share it with you guys. So here we go. Let's start. Well, 9 games. Loads of football on Tuesday, loads on Wednesday. And of course, we have Arsenal in their first double game week fixture on Thursday night. So look, we're going to go through all of these game by game. I'm going to timestamp them for those that are only interested in 2 or 3 of the games. Some games we'll spend more time on. You know, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, United need a bit more time. Not sure how long we'll spend on Forest Wolves, for example. But look, let's get cracking, shall we? Guys, I would love you to hit those buttons if you want to support. The like is our friend. And please do subscribe if you're new around here. You can also press the hype button now. Hype it if you can. Subscribe, hype, comment, like, all the jazz. So, Sunderland, Liverpool. I put Virgil van Dijk on the thumbnail on this one. That's because I owned him. But I just want to look at Liverpool defence because whilst they haven't been keeping many clean sheets, when you look at the underlying numbers for Liverpool's defence, the expected goals conceded over the last 6 to 10 game weeks, they're actually like top 2, top 3. They're a good defence. They just haven't been playing. They've just been conceding silly goals. Conceding silly chances. Sunderland didn't really have a sniff. At home, Sunderland are good, but Liverpool were completely dominant. And this was the Florian Wirtz show. He was amazing. Now, we didn't get the FPL returns, Florian Wirtz, but boy, did he look good. And playing in the 10, he's starting to really find his feet in this Liverpool team. And we know it's his best position. We've seen him stuck out on the left. We've seen him having to play false 9. He's linking well with Ekitike. Ekitike, again, a fairly quiet night. His expected goals was 0.36. Should have scored the header, but other than that. But the exciting thing for Liverpool is moving forward. It's Forest, West Ham, Wolves, Tottenham, Brighton. It's just a good run. We're interested in Liverpool and Wirtz should be top of our wish list. When we look at the shot map, lots of shots for Liverpool. Like, they had a few big chances. Sunderland didn't have a single big chance. Set piece threat quite big on either side, 0.57 for Liverpool. And that's obviously how they got the goal with Virgil van Dijk. This is the Liverpool 11 we're expecting to see. When Szoboszlai comes into the team, though, things will change. It's going to be really interesting to see. Now Wirtz is playing so well as the 10, who comes in and plays 10? Let's assume there's a fit right back and Szoboszlai isn't playing right back. What we've seen mostly is Szoboszlai playing there where Wirtz is, as the attacking of the 3 midfielders. 2 behind him, Szoboszlai's a 10, Wirtz often out on the left or on the bench. I think we're going to see Szoboszlai playing in the midfield too, either in the Alexis McAllister role, or we're going to see him at right back more often, or maybe even he eats into some of Salah's minutes or Gakpo's minutes. I don't know. He's so versatile, he can play anywhere. But not playing Florian Wirtz as the 10 feels criminal, and last night showed us that. Robertson came in for Kirkes in the other move. Ekitike was fairly quiet, as we've said. In terms of the points, this is what we care about. Virgil is getting all the DEFCON. He is getting DEFCON a lot at the moment. When we look at Virgil van Dijk's most recent points for DEFCON, it makes for good reading. It really does. Like 14 against Sunderland. Okay, against Man City. Man City, you don't get DEFCON really against City because they don't really go long ever. And it's not many crosses. So 14, 8 versus City. But then before that, 2 sets of 13. So he's had 2 13s, a 14 and an 8 in his last 4 games. Looking good for Virgil, who's also a goal threat, who now looks like the clean sheets are coming. Happy days. Ballard, similar to Virgil. He does the same sort of job for Sunderland there. Mukiele with 8 playing right back. And we are seeing Mukiele now as a right back. But look how attacking Mukiele is. I still think he's a good buy. And when Sunderland have good fixtures and you want a piece of their defence, Mukiele for attacking returns and DEFCON combinations and a cheap price point, fine. Angulo came in, looked all right, quite bright, wore the number 10. Brobby up front is a handful. Brobby is going to get some goals. And then Hume just plays every game, doesn't he? But look, that's Sunderland. Are we buying Liverpool? Yeah, I think we can look at Wirtz. We can look at Van Dijk. I think Ekitike is still a hold. That's Liverpool, Sunderland. We're going to crack on. I'm going to keep this quite fast-paced because we're not doing it live this morning. Man City versus Fulham was a pretty even football match in the end, despite the scoreline. And the XG plots tell us a lot, but they tell us Man City dominated from the start and then Fulham were playing catch-up. And it wasn't really till the end when Fulham had a chance, a big chance. So with that in mind, I take it back. It wasn't an even football match. It was even by the end. But throughout the game, City were always had the upper hand. We can see that with the XG plot. And they scored 3 goals in quick succession. Semenyo, O'Reilly, Haaland all scored within 15 minutes. And they went into half-time and the match was won. Now, the big news here was Erling Haaland didn't come out in the second half. So, substituted at half-time. That wasn't tactical. Pep doesn't make half-time subs, even when they're cruising 3-0. And it was due to niggles. The City schedule looks fine. I don't think we need to worry. Like, when I look at City's fixtures, I don't go, oh, we're not going to see Erling Haaland for a while. Like, they play Salford in the 4th round of the FA Cup this Saturday. But then they don't play till the following Saturday. But he's going to be fine. He's now got 9 days till his next game against Newcastle. He'll be good. He'll be good. But of course, let's not make early transfers, just in case. Because if Haaland is out of the game, it's a big concern. 13 shots to 14, but the bigger chance is slightly falling City's way. And as always with City, they don't rely on their set-piece threat. Semenyo looked bright. He moved from one side to the other. But Nico O'Reilly has been playing in midfield for the last few weeks. Now, Nico O'Reilly, for some reason, has been sold by a lot of pit managers. And I don't really understand why, because he's been getting the starts and he's gone from left-back to midfielder. Now, the game before, he played alongside Rodri in a 2. Last couple of weeks, he's played in a midfield 2. Yesterday, he played in a midfield 3, where they didn't play an out-and-out 10. They played Silva one side, O'Reilly the other, like 2 number 8s. And O'Reilly as a left 8 looked really good. I'd like to see him in that position more. His average position in the first half was more attacking than this, but then he moved back to defensive mid when Rodri went off. He actually played alongside Nico Gonzalez in a 2 for the last 20 minutes. That has affected his average position. We've seen him drop. But if you just take the first 60 minutes, his average position would be up there, like not too short of Semenyo Haaland. Seriously, really impressive average position for Nico O'Reilly. And I texted the Ultras WhatsApp group 10 minutes into the football match, and I said, Nico O'Reilly's getting me an attack in return tonight. So I was absolutely buzzing when he did. And it felt like I had double City attack. And when you've 5% owned at your rank, 13 points is huge. So awesome to have it. Haaland points all worked against us unless you captained him, but we expected that. There's a lot of set and forget captaincy on Haaland. So happy days on Man City. The fixtures look good. When they're purring like this and they're scoring 3 goals a game, you do want a second player. Because we all have Haaland. We don't benefit when Haaland wins, right? Is that second player going to be O'Reilly? I'm not sure. It's not Foden or Cherky. They're too risky. Or Reinders. Bernardo Silva's not an FPL asset. Mateus Nunes is always good on the right-hand side. But Semenyo feels like the most obvious still, and he keeps scoring goals. If I was buying, I'd probably buy Semenyo or O'Reilly. So that's Man City. Let's have a look at Fulham. I mean, Harry Wilson's still the outlet, but he keeps getting the blanks now, Wilson. What do you do if you're a Wilson owner? Because there's a lot of Wilson owners, and he's overperformed. It feels like he's become a victim of his own success because we've expected to get the 9s and the 10s and the 6s, which he's got in the last 8 game weeks. But the last 3, it's been 2-2-2-2, sorry. I think he's still a hold, guys. Sunderland, Tottenham, West Ham, Forest, Burnley. It's a good fixture run. Until he's out the team. At his price point, I still think he's a hold. But obviously, Wilson, Chukwueze started. There is Kevin. There is Bob. And you're going to get some rotation soon. But Wilson should be nailed for the time being. But it won't last forever, that. And he's out of contract in the summer. Let's see how much Andre Silva does experiment with Bob, who feels like he's coming to replace Wilson long-term. Big money signing. In terms of the extras, Bernardo Silva got DEFCON. Gahey just missed out, as did Ruben. Anderson got DEFCON, always seems to. And Anderson got DEFCON because he's playing alongside Bassi. As soon as I tweeted it, as soon as Bassi was in the 11, not Cuenca, I said Anderson will get DEFCON. And he did. When he plays alongside Cuenca eats up the DEFCON. But Cuenca's now out of the team. Bassi's in it. Anderson eats the DEFCON. And the extra points, 3 bonus points for Semenyo and Aït-Nouri. No one gets the 2 bonus points, but Gahey and O'Reilly both get the 1. Crystal Palace Burnley. Oh, man, we all bought Palace. Well, we didn't all. We all wanted to buy Palace players, and some of us did it. Like me. I'm so frustrated with this one. It's been a good game week for me. I'll show you my team at the end of this. But this was the fixture I really thought I was getting some differential points from Ismail Assar. Now, on my deadline stream, you guys will know I was split. Do I buy Manoz? Do I buy Sarr? Do I buy Strand Larsen? And honestly, guys, my gut feeling, and the Ultras will know this from WhatsApp, my gut feeling all week was Strand Larsen. It was completely my gut. That was my heart, but my head was Sarr. And I went with my head. And Sarr, the reason I went there just over Strand Larsen, because Strand Larsen actually worked better for my team, was the penalty factor. I believe Sarr is on pens. But also it was the news that Mateta will be back in the next few weeks. And when he is, Strand Larsen's going to be first choice, sure, but will he be a 90-minute man? Probably not. You're going to eat into Strand Larsen's minutes a little bit. Sarr just completely nailed 90-minute man. And that news in the Tuesday press conference that Mateta isn't having surgery swung it for me, I think. So I'm annoyed because I really wanted Strand Larsen. And when he got his brace, I was really annoyed. And he got his first goal. And about a minute later, Nico O'Reilly scored. And I was watching on a multi-view. And I was like, I should have been really excited that Nico O'Reilly just got me a 6-point goal. But I wasn't. I was annoyed that I had just not had the 4 points from Strand Larsen. It's funny how we consume FPL and how the outcome can really affect your mood. And I was like, that's not right. I should be buzzing here. But I was annoyed at the decision I didn't make rather than the decision I did make, which was to start and keep O'Reilly. So look, it's fine. Back to the game though. Burnley shouldn't be scoring 3 goals of 0.74 XG. And there was just a complete moment of madness at Palace. A 5-minute spell where they conceded 3 goals. 5 minutes before half time, it was rotten. Other than that, they didn't really have a sniff. But what Burnley are good at is parking the bus. And they went ahead and Palace didn't have too many chances. You can see just the one big chance there in the second half. That's the problem. They look good against Brighton, Crystal Palace, when the game was open. And when you play Brighton, you get the chances usually. Villa didn't last night, but Palace did. And it was open, especially at the Amex. You go and play Scotty Parker's Burnley and it's a deep, low block and park the bus. And we've got 3 goals. Now we're going to defend. And it was hard to break them down. So look, whilst Palace have good fixtures coming up, they've still got Wolves at home and Leeds at home in the next 4. They're not going to be easy games. They will park the bus in a similar way to Burnley. Not quite as much, though. So hopefully, Strand Larsen, Sarr, Munoz still come in for all of us owners. Is it too late to buy Palace? Look, don't probably do it. The best fixture was Burnley. You're not getting that one now. I wouldn't be looking at buying Palace. I'm very happy holding Palace, but would I be buying? Probably not. Now, there's a lot of Burnley. Burnley wiped out a lot of clean sheets last night. So there's a lot of Lacroix and Richards owners as well, and Munoz. And we can see the shot map there. They really shouldn't have scored from it. Lacroix played well and got his DEFCON. Lerma is at centre-back. It's all about the fullbacks. And it's all about Daniel Munoz on the right-hand side still. His expected goal involvement last night was over 1 XGI. He should have returned. He didn't. And I tweeted this before the game. I tweeted this 2 days before the game. I tweeted this on Monday, I think. Strand Larsen's going to feast with the service provided to him. And this was the average position map from Brighton. And compare that to the average position map. It's pretty much the same. Strand Larsen had to drop a little bit to get on the ball. But just look at the dominance on the right-hand side. Strand Larsen passing lines are all from Munoz and Sarr. Again, right-hand side, Munoz, Sarr. That right-hand link-up is so important. And if you're buying a Palace player, make sure it's one that's heavily involved, like a Munoz or Sarr. Or a Strand Larsen, or you go to the DEFCON of Lacroix. And Lacroix did get his DEFCON. Richards missed out. Wharton got it too. And then Burnley got a few players on DEFCON as well. I don't think we're buying Burnley players. We're not going to look at them. Should we move on away from Burnley? Guys, let's go to Villa because I mentioned Brighton always create XG and it's easy to create XG against them. Not yesterday. Guys, be sure to hit that like button, by the way. I usually do these shows live and I will always do them live on a Sunday morning, but because this is a slapdash Thursday, I didn't plan to do it and I hadn't promoted it. So I thought I'm just going to go for it and do the pre-record. But if you want to show any support, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment if you got a question, I'll respond, and be sure to like as well. What a dull game. I was watching a multi-view and I rarely had my eyes on Villa Brighton. Rarely. Even as a Morgan Rogers owner, I was like, just not seeing any chances. So I was constantly watching Palace and watching Man City. Villa Brighton was just so dull. It didn't deserve to be a winner. This should have been a 0-0. 0.51 XG versus 0.57. Boring. And it was. Is Morgan Rogers a long-term hold? Yeah, because if they score, it does feel like it's going to be him. Ollie Watkins, though, feels like a sell for those that are on him. Yeah, just look, not a single big chance. Little dot, little dot, little dot, little dot, little dot, little dot. You need the big bubbles to score goals, especially if you're Villa or Brighton. So, yeah, a frustrating night for Brighton fans and Villa fans that go home very happy. But they've had a lot of results this season, Villa. When you see this sort of shot map, but you see a scoreline of 1-0, they are massively overperforming still. They're expected. I don't think they're going to get top 5. The results have been good enough, but the performances haven't. I think we should be slightly worried. If I was Villa, I'd be looking at teams like Man United and Chelsea that are creating the chances, that are playing good football. And I'd be going, okay, top 5 this season is going to get you Champions League. We know Arsenal are going to get it, and we know Man City are going to get it. It's then 3 spots from 4 teams, right? The 4 teams are Villa, Man United, Chelsea, and Liverpool. I believe Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool get it. I think they will all catch Villa. Now, Liverpool are 8 points behind them, but I think they can do it. I think they can do it. Chelsea, 6 points behind them. Man United, 5 points behind them. It's going to be the race for top 5 is going to be the most interesting race this season. Title, I don't think it's going to be a thing. I think Arsenal will win it with a couple of games to spare. Relegation, that's going to be interesting. We all know Wolves and Burnley are down, but we don't know, is it going to be Leeds, Spurs, Forest, or West Ham? Let's see. Let us know in the comments what you think for relegation. And look, back to front. I mean, this is so disjointed. We like to see links between midfield and attack, and this is just like, oh, we're going to play with 3 outlets, and then we're going to play really deep. And this is what happens when you have your first choice midfield out. Tielemans links to midfield and attack. McGinn links to midfield and attack. 2 big misses. Kamara, such the most valuable defensive midfielder, all out injured. And Arnold and Douglas Luiz are good players, but they don't come in and do quite the same job. And Wendia didn't do a good job of linking it. But that is a very disjointed. You're not going to create chances when your midfield and your forwards line aren't talking to each other. And yesterday they weren't. And then, yeah, the extra points. Maatsen got it. He came in and played left back. Douglas Luiz looks like he's going to be good. We don't know if he's going to be on pens or not. I think Rodgers still might take them. And then Mings, the goal, gets in bonus, and Martinez gets bonus. Brighton, a much better passing map. And Brighton always play good football. Matoma was their brightest spark. And Kadioglu on set pieces seems to be playing a lot. Kadioglu feels pretty nailed. 4.5 defender. If you wanted to go there, I don't hate it. But yeah, that's Brighton Villa. Let's move on, shall we? Oh, we're not spending long on this one. I do feel for Sean Dyche. It's actually like, when you look at Dyche's winning record at Forest, he won about 47% of his games. The best under Marinakis. He can't put the ball in the net. He can set a team up to play good football and create chances. And Sean Dyche did that. They created 3 extra. Look at this shot map. That's not Sean Dyche's fault. Sean Dyche has done a bloody good job creating this. The players let him down. You've got to finish. You've got to finish one of those 35 shots. Jose Sarr was inspired, sure, but I feel for Sean Dyche. I think it's a terrible sacking. I think they're in real trouble now, Forest. I think you keep Dyche and you stay up for sure. You don't keep Dyche and you're in trouble. Like, we don't know who's coming in, but they've got some job on their hands now. And I think they were playing all right. This XG plot and this shot map shows us they were playing all right. But are we buying Forest and Wolves players? No, we're not. Not now. So let's not look at their average position maps and stuff. But yeah, the bonus points went to Jose Sarr, as you'd expect. Amazing. Oh, and Elliot Anderson, the 10th game in a row, he got DEFCON. But just note, under Postecoglou, under Nuno, Anderson was good at DEFCON, but not this good. Under Dyche, Anderson got 10 DEFCON in a row. Brilliant. We don't know under the new manager if he'll quite be amazing for DEFCON. I hope he's not, because he's just had so many extra points, right? He's had all those extras. He'll still probably be a DEFCON beast because it's the player he is, but the system will be slightly different. So don't assume Anderson's going to continue to DEFCON every single game. West Ham, Man United. We're looking at some of the Tuesday games now. This is really interesting on Man United because I hold my hands up. When Carrick came in and beat Arsenal and Man City, I made videos about it, right? Oh, my team selection was a lot about, you need to get to the Man United double up. Is just Bruno enough? A bit like we said with Haaland. When City are purring, Haaland's not enough alone. You need to benefit from all their goals. And if you've all got Haaland, you don't benefit. It's the same with Man United and Bruno. And I saw and I got excited about the performances versus Arsenal and City. Those performances, probably, fair play though, don't take it away from Man United. The opposition probably suited Man United. open football matches, we'll come and have a go at you. You can have less possession. You can hit us on the break, playing behind. United are brilliant at that. They've been brilliant at that for years, to be fair. Under Solskjaer, it suited them often. They did well against the good teams and they struggled against the bad teams. Is the pattern going to continue? Because the first time they've played a bad team, they slipped up. Now, if you go and get a 1-1 draw, but you dominate the ball and you dominate the XG, you dominate the shots, I wouldn't be here saying this. Slightly concerning, and it's a very small sample size. I don't want to over-evaluate this. It's one game. But against a deeper team that knows how to defend and that will park the bus, and Nuno teams do really, really well at that, slightly worrying that you only created 9 shots. Man United created 20-odd shots in games versus Arsenal and Man City. Why only 9 versus West Ham? Are they going to struggle against deeper teams? Well, let's have a look at the average position map, shall we? And look, United, there isn't that outball to Ahmad or Mbeumo that you saw a high and a wide position against Man City and Arsenal because West Ham didn't give them that opportunity and didn't give them that space. We also saw Casemiro really deep against West Ham. He got pushed back. Again, in more open games, Casemiro's actually been getting in some nice positions. Really congested in the middle of the park there. Just interesting observation. West Ham, what they did, they used their wingers, and Bowen and Somerville are their outlets, and they managed to get in behind, and they looked really bright. I thought Diouf and Wan-Bissaka looked good as well, and then Castellanos looks like a really good 9. Like at Lazio, he was all right. I think they got good money for the Argentine. They were happy to see him go at that price, but he's come in and he's settled really well to the Premier League. So West Ham looked good, but Man United struggled against a deep team. Look how deep Disasi is, average position. Like average position of a Man United centre-back, halfway line. Lissandro and Harry Maguire, who went off injured, by the way. Average position of a West Ham defender, really deep. Just monitor that. Will Man United struggle against deeper blocks? TBC. But when we look at the Man United fixtures, look, they're not the easiest. Am I cooler on the double United attack now? Probably. They go to Everton. That's going to be a similar game to go into West Ham. Moyes will keep them compact and deep and disciplined. They then play Palace at home. That's quite a good fixture for them. They then go to Newcastle, hard place to go. And then it's Villa, Bournemouth. Like, of course, we're happy with the United assets. If you own them, you keep them. But do we go out now and go, you need a double United attack? I might change my opinion again in a week or two. But as things stand, I'm okay not owning Mbeumo. Sure, he can hurt me, and he's great, and I might go buy him in 2 weeks. But for Everton away, I'm okay with just Bruno. I did, again, message the WhatsApp group. And by the way, if you want to be a channel member and be in that WhatsApp group, you can scan the QR code or click the link below, join. I messaged the WhatsApp group back being, I'm really worried about Mbeumo tonight. Because he was a player I've wanted to buy, haven't got there. And I was like, he's gonna bang. And I went to bed at half time because it was a late game. I watched all the others. And then as soon as they finished, I went to bed. And United were maybe an hour in. Bloody hell. I might get away with this. 1-0 West Ham. I might get an Mbeumo blank. And then I woke up at midnight to see to the little one. Turn my phone on. Mbeumo, 96th minute, gets an assist. And that gets him a bonus. And it's fine. It was only a 6-pointer. But it always felt like it would happen. But then when I watched that second half back and I saw a total of 9 shots in the entire game, I was like, okay, it wasn't like I assumed the second half, the last half an hour was going to be, we're throwing the kitchen sink. We're going to create all this XG, all these shots, all these chances, and then Mbeumo and Bruno both going to get points. Well, they didn't both get points. So, yeah, slightly underwhelming there for United. Let's watch this space moving forward. Still, Maguire, I'm happy to own. Bruno, I'm happy to own. And Mbeumo is still highly on my watch list, as is Ahmad. I still think Ahmad's going to come good. Maguire, we don't know about his injury. Let's see. There's no FA Cup game for Man United. They're out of that. So, yeah, they got some time off. Extra points. Casemiro just missed out on DEFCON, as did Mainu. Ahmad high as well with the 9. He needs 12, remember. But then, Mateus Fernandes got it for West Ham. And Sesko gets all 3 bonus. Are we buying West Ham players? I don't know. I mean, Somerville is scoring goals for fun. Scored like 5 goals in 6 games. He'd be the one I'd look at. And maybe, now Disasi's there, maybe they're going to start keeping some clean sheets. I don't know. Maybe that's his level, Disasi. Speaking of manager sackings, Sean Dyche and Forest, but also Thomas Frank and Spurs. He had to get something from this football match. And when Newcastle go and find the winner at the 75th minute, Ramsey, they're kind of dead and buried for Frank, and they probably deserved it. Newcastle were good and they had the upper hand throughout. Quite a high XG game, chances for both teams, but Newcastle had the upper hand. And I think that I'm not going to go into Spurs because I don't think we're buying Spurs players, especially with the new manager. We've got to wait and see. Van der Ven's still their best player, and he did get DEFCON Van der Ven. But we're not buying them. So many injuries as well. But Newcastle, I am genuinely interested. He's got 120 million's worth of forward in Visser and Waltemada. Is it more? Is it more like 140 million? Both benched for Anthony Gordon, and we've seen this especially away from home. He likes Gordon as a 9, and he's come out and said it's his press, it's his energy, it's his legs. By playing Gordon as a 9, you also then can play an Elanga, right? If you're playing Gordon and Barnes, Elanga or Murphy, or both of them are on the bench. Gordon as a 9 is a legit option. Gordon also takes pens. So Gordon's either playing 9 or out wide, but he's always in the 11. Gordon always seems to start. He was injured versus Brentford, but before that, he started every game since game week 14. Get some early subs, but it's a lot of sort of 80s and 87s. Gordon's really interesting to me. 0.49 XG, 7 million, but only 2% owned and on pens. Now it's City up next. After City, Everton, Man United, Chelsea, Sunderland in the derby. They do play in 31, remember, Sunderland. I think Gordon will have quite a few that buy him for 31, that derby. 31, remember, the blank game week, we're going to be offloading some of our players that aren't playing. You might have a Semenyo or a Declan Rice, or an Ismail Assar. Doesn't have a fixture in 31. You just want a 1 week punt before your wild card. Gordon at home to Sunderland. Barnes at home to Sunderland. Bruno G at home to Sunderland. Might just be one that we look at. So yeah, interesting to see how that plays out. Dan Burn back at left back. Lewis Hall was dropped. Interesting. Lewis Hall, I'm sure, will come back in, but interesting he went with Dan Burn at left back because Hall's been so good. Maybe he just needed a rest. Bruno G got the DEFCON. So good. But Malik Chow got the big points. He got bonus. He got the goal. Didn't get the clean sheet, but also just got DEFCON. He got the 10 there at the end of the game. So that's Newcastle and Spurs. How about some more games from Tuesday, including the one that I was really interested to watch? Chelsea Leeds. Hands up if you own Enzo. And for 2 weeks now, you've had high expected goal involvement and you've still not had the points. But the guys that keep getting it, Joao Pedro and Cole Palmer. Chelsea should have won this football match. That big chance at the end there was a 0.8, 0.9 XG open goal miss from Cole Palmer. But the big points, the ones that really hurt your rank, are the assists that have gone to Joao Pedro. Let's just have a look at the shot map first. 19 shots to 4. Set pieces, remember that includes the 0.78 pen from Cole Palmer, and they do win penalties, Chelsea. We have to remember that. It's now 3 penalties in 2 weeks. But this season, I think it's been something like 10 or 11 in the league. Chelsea win penalties. They've got players that are very good at it, whether it's Pedro Neto or Garnacho or Joao Pedro as he keeps doing so. Cole Palmer himself, tricky players with quick feet. They're also a team that attack very back to front quick through central areas. Therefore, they get a lot of penalty area touches. And we'll see that in their average position. The central lines, you've seen me analyse this before. They don't pass out wide a lot. Look at Chalobah and how many central line passes to Andre Santos or Enzo. Again, Caicedo receives the ball a lot. A lot of centre-backs pass the ball to the full-backs, and Achpong did to Gusto. But Chalobah barely passed it to Cucurella at left-back. He was told, pass down the middle. Because if we receive the ball in the middle of the park, we receive it in a riskier area where we can lose possession. It's why not many clubs do it. They go to the full-back. But if we get the ball in that position, Enzo, Cole Palmer, and with 40, 50 yards from goal in central areas, we can cause damage. And it's been a really successful model for Rossini. Didn't quite necessarily pay off second half against Leeds, but first half, we saw Enzo and Palmer in bags of space. And again, I tweeted being like, Cole Palmer's back. This was before he scored, by the way. Just felt like it was going to happen. And Cole Palmer should have scored that open goal miss at the end. And if he does, it's another monster haul. He had a 20-pointer in game week 25, and he had a big return in 26, but it was very, very nearly much bigger. Now, Joao Pedro, 3 assists now from winning 3 penalties. It's jammy, but that's FPL. Pick players that take penalties, but pick players that win them too. And Joao Pedro, he's playing really well. Gets the goal, and he deserves his goal. So again, we saw another big score from Joao Pedro. He has now had, in his last 5 games, I didn't realise it was quite this good. Wow, I'm adding them up. 8, 12, 10, 8, 10. So what's that? That's 20, 30, 48 points in 5 games. He's averaging 9.25 points a game. Ridiculous. Many will say lucky because of the pens, but he's also playing well. Good finishes in there. Like, he scored goals himself, right? In those games, he's also scored 4 goals. He's won 3 assists, but he scored 4 goals, and the goals he's taken really well. Who's he play next? Burnley. 45% owned. He's killing our rank if you don't own him. Me. I don't mind. Cole Palmer doesn't kill your rank because he's a differential. Fair play to Cole Palmer owners. But the Joao Pedro owners, they're killing us, man. Fortunately, a lot of that 45% are managers that are set and forget at the start of the season, or they gave up in October or November. Around your ranks, it's probably a bit lower than 45%, but still, it's annoying. Is he a buy? Yes, still is. Is Cole Palmer a buy? Absolutely, but budget doesn't allow it for many. Enzo, is he a hold? Absolutely. Keep the faith. And then Chelsea defence. Chalobah did get his DEFCON, but Chelsea defence, man. If you had bought Chelsea defenders a couple of weeks ago, I was saying double up. I was saying if I was on wildcard, I would have gone Chalobah and Sanchez because they had Brentford, Palace, West Ham, Wolves, Leeds. Well, in the last 4 games, Crystal Palace conceded 1. West Ham conceded 2, Wolves conceded 1, and Leeds conceded 2. Pretty rotten. No clean sheets in the last 4. But you do still get some Chalobah points for DEFCON. I wouldn't buy a Chelsea defender. They do look vulnerable under Rossini. Cool. That's the Chelsea analysis. I enjoyed that one. No defenders. Hold Enzo. Buy Palmer and Joao Pedro. Pretty simple. Extra points. Chalobah, as I said, did get his DEFCON. Caicedo, only with the 8, is proper low for him. And then Leeds, we're not buying Leeds players, are we? I don't think so. Just to note, Bogle played in a front 3. Bogle's been playing wing back, which we like, but he actually played as a front 3, not as a wing back. He played Justin as the wing back and Bogle front 3. Bogle obviously scored in game week 25. Just monitor that for Bogle. I don't think he'll continue playing. It was because Dominic Calvert-Lewin was out injured and they shifted things around. But even as a wing back, I do like Bogle, who, by the way, is a real outlet for them. He's fast. He's got an eye for goal. He's 4.4 million in good fixture runs. And we do get a good fixture run from game week 29 for Leeds. Sunderland at home, Palace away, Brentford at home, United away, Wolves at home. So the 3 home games, Sunderland, Brentford, Wolves, in 5 weeks, you could very happily start him. If you're looking for a rotator, I don't mind Bogle. Everton, Bournemouth. Should we do it? Should we do Everton, Bournemouth? Then I'll show you my team in a minute, guys. Stay tuned for that. Everton deserved it. Everton did deserve it with the XG, but Bournemouth got the goals, and many will say that's the only stat that matters. Until they scored, Bournemouth didn't have a sniff. First half, it was all about the Ndiaye chance. He got his goal. And then Bournemouth came out second half, and look at that. 2 quick goals. And Rayan, if you watch my team selection, was one of the midfielders I was looking to buy. I gave you 5 midfielders. Dewsbury Hall, Rayan, Ismail Assar, Amad Diallo. I can't remember the other one. Maybe it was just the 4. And I bought Sarr in the end, but Rayan looks really good. 19 years old. Hit the ground running in the Premier League. And look, he's high and wide on the right-hand side. He's good in the air. He's quite a big lad. He's direct. 2 good goals now. And Bournemouth have the fixtures. The entry point is still there for Bournemouth. If you're buying a Bournemouth player, I think it should be Rayan. If you're buying an attacker. If you're buying a defender, well, James Hill. Unbelievable. Again, if you've been watching the Sunday debriefs, I called Hill out weeks ago and said, go for it. I bought Maguire myself because I had a bit of extra money, but Hill's not going to keep many clean sheets. But 3.9 million defenders aren't going to keep loads of clean sheets. But 3 assists in the last 4 weeks. That's unbelievable, by the way. He shouldn't, he is good, but he shouldn't be getting 3 assists. He's winning headers and their flick-ons or assists from set pieces. But he's also really good for DEFCON. And he's eating into Senesi's DEFCON. He's out DEFCONing Senesi. His DEFCON in the last... Wow. I mean, I'm going to use DEFCON in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks. He's hit it 7 times in 8. 13, 18, 11, 9, 11, 10, 13, 20. Mad. Unbelievable. You're always going to get DEFCON from him, it seems. And if you don't get a clean sheet, you get 4 points. Very happy days. So Hill we like, Rayan we like. Evan Nelson looks all right. And Christie's back in the mix. Back fit and looking good, Christie. And he is a DEFCON beast as well, or was last season. Everton, Dewsbury Hall's the most obvious buy if you're looking for a cheap midfielder from Everton. Set pieces, number 10, Tariq George got the start, but I like Dewsbury Hall. I still got eyes on him when the fixtures are good. The fixtures aren't great. And Everton defence, I think we can sell them. I don't see that many clean sheets from Everton defence with the fixtures they've got. They're also not DEFCONing as much as we thought they would. I much prefer, say, a Hill to a Tarkowski. And there's a big price difference there. Like, that's what's a million, nearly 2 million price difference. Extra points, yeah, 20 DEFCON. I mean, and die, by the way. Somehow, he's wide forward shouldn't DEFCON. Yeah, they're Everton, they do. We've seen it with Grealish, we've seen it with them die a couple of times. Should we do my team? Guys, let's talk about my team for a little bit. And then, let me tell you what my forward plans are in a second. But first, let's just review the points that we've got. If you are on a green arrow and you have triple Arsenal and your captaincy on Gabriel, you're probably going to finish the game week with a green arrow, right? You shouldn't have too many that can hurt your rank. Some punted on Havertz. He has been ruled out. Kai Havertz, sorry, guys. It must be so frustrating. He's out. Hopefully, you had Hill auto sub and you got a 9-pointer there. Gyökeres is a really fun punt. I've got mates, one of my best mates from school, who doesn't absorb FPL content. He'd call himself a casual. He's bought in Gyökeres and he's captained him. And there'll be a fair few that have done that are more or less engaged managers. However, for engaged managers, look at the ownership there. 200% in the top 10K. Triple captain Gabriel. Huge. 200% effective ownership. 155 at my rank. I'm still benefiting in a big way. When Gabriel gets me points. And I've got the combination of Raya defense there as well. Happy days. Can Declan Rice get me something? Again, at my rate, 80%, I'll welcome those points. But Gabriel will be the big one. Triple captain. Effectively 300%. Like, I'm going to benefit unless he was at 300%. It doesn't really matter, but he's not. He's at 200, right? So thank you very much. I'll end the game week on a big green arrow. 315k. The task is still 100k, and I really think I can get that, especially with a good week this week. Let me go through my wins and then my disappointments. I'll do disappointments first. Sarr, I expected more, but I'm going to hold him for the fixtures against Leeds at home in a few weeks' time, and next up it's Wolves at home. Rodgers, I'm getting frustrated. I am getting frustrated, but I bought him for a good stretch of fixtures, and he's got Leeds and Wolves up next. I'm holding Rodgers. And by the way, in 31, which is the blank game week, I get West Ham at home. I'm not selling Rodgers. Same with Enzo Fernandez. I don't have plans to sell him yet, but if I do need to move to an Mbeumo, selling a Rice and an Enzo to an Mbeumo and a cheaper midfielder is absolutely something I could do. The big player I don't have that everyone's going to move to is probably Igor Thiago. Igor Thiago's got Brighton next, and then he's got really good fixtures. I think it's Burnley after that. I'm going to go without him in game week 27. I might buy him in 28, but I still think Ekitike is a long-term hold. I really do, and I know he's been disappointing. He only had that big 13-pointer, but all the others are 1s and 2s. But Forest, followed by them West Ham, Wolves, Tottenham, Brighton. It's a good run. I want him up into that blank. When I wildcard in 32, I'll reassess, but I think I take him through to the wildcard. Players that I'm pretty confident I take through to the wildcard in my attacking lineup: Haaland, Ekitike, Bruno, Rodgers. Jury's still out on Sarr, probably sell in 30. Jury's out on Rice and Enzo, how long I keep them. Let me talk about a couple of wins, though. O'Reilly and Virgil played each other in game week 25, right? You guys will remember that game. Crazy finish. But for the majority of that football match, I think until about 80 minutes, it was 0-0. Man City versus Liverpool. I had a clean sheet coming in ×2. I had 2 late clean sheet wipeouts, and Virgil also got booked. So Virgil ended on a 0-pointer because he conceded a couple. And Nico O'Reilly ended on a 2-pointer. I got 2 points when I thought I was getting double clean sheet. One week they're dreadful because that happens, or the points are dreadful. They're not. And that's a really important point we're going to come back to. They're not, but the points weren't great. And the next week, the points are amazing. Were they amazing? No, they were both good. But they were both good in the derby, Liverpool, City, the game before. Sometimes we shouldn't react to points. There was a lot of rage sellers of Virgil. There was a lot of rage sellers of O'Reilly. Late clean sheet wipeout. Blah, blah, blah. No, keep the faith. You picked them for a reason. I picked Virgil because I believed he'd score a goal sooner or later. And I think Liverpool have got good clean sheet chances, and his DEFCON's been increasing. That's all come to fruition in game week 26. Now, it might have a bad 27, but I think he's a good enough long-term hold. And look at his ownership at my rank, 7%. O'Reilly, for the last few weeks, guys, has been playing as a midfielder. Why are people selling O'Reilly? The fixtures are there. He's been starting and he's been playing as a midfielder. Come on. O'Reilly's great. And he played as a number 8, not even a number 6 yesterday. Very happy with O'Reilly. Sure, I get why people sold him because Munoz was a tempter. Not almost. It was one of the plans I considered. I was more likely to buy a Palace attacker, right, in Sarr or Strand Larsen. If you watch my content, you'll know that. But of course, I considered O'Reilly to Munoz too. Because he doesn't play in 31, people were happy to sell him. And that's why I was like, should I just be open to selling him? He doesn't play in 31. No, there's points on the table now. Like, don't worry about 31. O'Reilly's about to play Newcastle at home, but then he's got Leeds and Forest, both like 2 good fixtures there. And then West Ham. I want him for Leeds, Forest and West Ham, and then I'll sell him, and then it's game week 31. So, look, I'm happy with my defender hauls. It came in, but it was a dreadful outcome the game before, and it might be a dreadful outcome the game after. In terms of my transfer plans, I'll drop my early thoughts video tomorrow, guys. So stay tuned for that, and I'll talk about where I'm heading with my transfers. But you enjoy your triple captaincy wins, hopefully many of you, on Thursday night. Your Raya, your Saliba, your Timber points, but also Declan Rice for me as well. And if you punted on a Gyökeres or a Trossard, good luck to you. Thank you for watching. On your way out, hit those buttons, and I'll see you in the next.